Hello friends, welcome to MALUKA IAS. Continuing upon the discussion of the NCRT from the NCRT synopsis that has been prepared by MALUKA IAS. So we would be at presently in this video covering the geography of class 8th. The book name is Resources and Development. This is the second part of this book. This book, the complete book is basically being covered along with the pictures and other thing in just 17 pages. 17 पेज में पूरे का पूरा आपकी बुक खत्म है. ज्योग्राफी 8th क्लास की इससे ज़्यादा और कुछ भी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. ट्राई टू कवर इट, लर्न इट वेरी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली, ताकि यहाँ से जो भी क्वेश्चन आएगा यू विल डेफिनेटली बी इन अ पोजीशन टू सॉल्व इट. एनसीईआरटीज 42 एनसीईआरटीज दैट आर देयर, आपको सबको पता है. 6 to 12 उसको हमने कन्वर्ट कर दिया 5 एनसीईआरटी में. फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे आपको डिस्कशन में ले रहे हैं हम 6 to 10th की एनसीईआरटी 15-15, 20-20 पेज में, 18 पेज में ऐसे करके ख़त्म हो रही है. जो इम्पॉर्टेंट है ओनली दैट थिंग इज़ बीइंग डिस्कस्ड, व्हाट इज़ नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट इज़ नॉट बीइंग डिस्कस्ड. सो इसी तरीके से हमने एनसीईआरटी का सिनॉप्सिस भी बनाया हुआ है. Any student who want to purchase the NCERT synopsis can definitely WhatsApp और मैसेज अस एट द सेम नंबर दैट हैज़ बीन गिवन. उस पर आप मैसेज कर सकते हैं और वहाँ पे भी आपको काफ़ी ज़्यादा उसका बेनिफिट मिल जाएगा व्हेन यू परचेज द NCERT. तो कंटिन्यू करते हैं सेकंड पार्ट पे. We have to start from chapter number 4. The chapter is agriculture. It has been shown in the map the world distribution of arable land. The land where cultivation agriculture is comparatively possible. So one thing that you can see is it's almost present everywhere except यहाँ पे अंटार्कटिका पे आपको नहीं देखने को मिलता. The arable land is available in all the continents, and because of that there is different type of farming that is being undertaken. तो यहाँ से फ्रेंड्स कई बार क्वेश्चन आया है इस टाइप ऑफ फार्मिंग को क्या बोलते हैं, यहाँ पे इस फार्मिंग को क्या बोलते हैं, एक्सेट्रा. द फर्स्ट इज सब्सिस्टेंस फार्मिंग. सब्सिस्टेंस मतलब आपका डेली का गुजारा ही हो रहा है, उतनी ही कल्टीवेशन हो रही है. दिस टाइप ऑफ फार्मिंग इज प्रैक्टिस टू मीट द नीड्स ऑफ द फार्मर्स लाइफ. ट्रेडिशनली लो टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करेंगे, हाउस होल्ड लेबर होगा जिसकी वजह से आउटपुट भी लिमिटेड ही आ पाएगी. It can further be classified into intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. Intensive subsistence farming क्या होगा? The farmer will be cultivating a small plot of land और simple tools और labor से ही करेंगे, वो more labor use करेगी. कहाँ पे होगा? Where it is comparatively a thickly populated areas of the monsoon region. कहाँ कहाँ पे? For example South Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia, इन कंट्रीज़ में काफ़ी ज़्यादा होती है. नेक्स्ट इज प्रिमिटिव सब्सिस्टेंस एग्रीकल्चर. जिस तरीके से पुराने तरीके में होता था, नोमैडिक हर्डिंग होती थी, शिफ्टिंग कल्टीवेशन होता था, दैट इज रेफर टू एज प्रिमिटिव सब्सिस्टेंस एग्रीकल्चर. तो अल्टीमेटली वन थिंग विल बी देयर कि उतने ही प्रोडक्शन होगी जितना आपका गुजारा हो सके, ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. एंड टेक्निक्स एंड टूल्स वुड बी द प्रिमिटिव टेक्निक्स एंड टूल्स वुड बी यूज्ड. शिफ्टिंग कल्टीवेशन क्या होता है? बेसिकली practiced in thickly forested areas, Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia, Northeast Asia, यहाँ पे वो प्रैक्टिस किया जाता है. These are basically areas of heavy rainfall, जहाँ पे rainfall ज़्यादा होता है, and there is a very quick regeneration of the vegetation that is taking place. Next is nomadic herding. It is basically practiced in semi-arid and arid regions of सहारा, सेंट्रल एशिया, सम पार्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया, फॉर एग्जांपल राजस्थान, जम्मू कश्मीर, इस रीजन में होता है. तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट है भी, इसको कौन सी जगह पे क्या बोला जाता है. जुमिंग नॉर्थ ईस्ट में इंडिया में कहा जाता है. मिल्पा इट इज़ रेफर टू इन मैक्सिको, रोका इन ब्राज़ील एंड लद्दाख इन मलेशिया. तो यहाँ से फ्रेंड्स ऑलरेडी क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है मैच द फॉलोइंग में. तो सेम क्वेश्चन या कोई सिमिलर क्वेश्चन दोबारा आ सकता है. नेक्स्ट इज कमर्शियल फार्मिंग. मेजर एरियाज जहाँ पे कमर्शियल फार्मिंग किया जाता है, दे आर बेसिकली द एरियाज ऑफ द टेम्परेट ग्रास लैंड्स. फॉर एग्जांपल नॉर्थ अमेरिका हो गया, यूरोप हो गया, एशिया हो गया, एक्सेट्रा. These areas are comparatively sparsely populated, population density is comparatively low, and there would be large farms that would be spread over hundreds of hectares. Then there is a mixed farming. Mixed farming, the land is basically used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. तो दो चीज़ देखिए, फूड फॉडर क्रॉप्स भी है और रेयरिंग ऑफ द लाइव स्टॉक है. ये कम से कम फ्रेंड्स 3-4 बार क्वेश्चन आ चुका. व्हाट इज मिक्स्ड फार्मिंग? तो सिंपल 8th क्लास के एनसीईआरटी में एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है, यहाँ से आप कर सकते हो. और यूरोप, एशिया, फॉर एग्जांपल साउथ अफ्रीका, न्यूजीलैंड, एवरीवेयर इट इज प्रैक्टिस्ड. नाउ देयर इज अ प्लांटेशंस. प्लांटेशन क्या होता है? दे आर बेसिकली आर अ टाइप ऑफ कमर्शियल फार्मिंग जब बेसिकली अ सिंगल क्रॉप ग्रो करी जाती है. फॉर एग्जांपल टी, कॉफ़ी, शुगर केन, कैश्यू, banana, cotton are grown. The major plantations are found on the tropical regions of the world: rubber in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India, and Sri Lanka are some of the examples of plantation. Next is water. Certain information that you should know about water. The fresh water contains only 2.7, that is, the fresh water for only 2.7% of fresh water. एंड नियरली 70%, इसका 70% जैसे हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया हुआ है, इज बेसिकली occurs as ice sheets and occurs in Antarctica, glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland and mountain regions. Due to their location, for example Antarctica हो गया, Greenland हो गया, या mountain regions हो गया, they are comparatively inaccessible. And only 1% of the fresh water is available and also is fit for the human use. Therefore, if such a less amount of water is available, it becomes very important for the conservation of the water so that water pollution can be controlled basically by treating suitably before releasing them for the use. Forest can be done, vegetation can be planted so that the surface runoff को रोका जा सके और replenishment अच्छे तरीके से किया जा सके. Water harvesting is another important thing that is needed to save the runoff. Agriculture क्या होता है? Basically, the science of an art of cultivation of on soil. Soil में कुछ भी cultivation करना, raising of the crops, rearing of the livestock, all these are a part of agriculture, and it is also called farming. Sericulture, for example, rearing of the silkworms is known as sericulture. Pisciculture is breeding of the fish. Viticulture is cultivation of the grapes. Horticulture is growing vegetables, flowers, and fruits for commercial use. Now, there are certain major crops which you should know. For example, rice. Rice is one of the major food crop in the world. It is a staple diet basically in the tropical and the subtropical regions. And for its growth, it's need high temperature, high humidity, and rainfall also. यहाँ से क्वेश्चन बनते हैं फ्रेंड. Soil कैसी चाहिए? Alluvial clay soil becomes more suitable. Why? Because that has the capacity to retain water. China is one of the leading producers along with India, Japan, Sri Lanka, and Egypt. The favorable climate are basically found in West Bengal, Bangladesh, and therefore 2 to 3 crops are also being grown. Next is wheat. फ्रेंड्स यहाँ से पूछेंगे कि आपसे आपको टेम्परेचर कितना चाहिए, आपको सॉइल कितना चाहिए, ये कौन सी चाहिए. दिस इज व्हाट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम दिस पार्ट. It requires comparatively a moderate temperature and rainfall during the growing season, and bright sunshine is also needed. कब वो हार्वेस्ट के टाइम पे जरूरत पड़ती है. Well, the soil that is required is a well drained loamy soil that is more suitable. Loamy soil is comparatively more suitable for the growth of such type of crops. It is grown in USA, Argentina, Canada, and other countries along with India. In India, it is basically grown in winters, जैसे आपको पता है. Millets, they are also known as coarse grains, and they can be grown on less fertile or sandy soil में भी आप कर सकते हो. It is a hard crop and that needs lower amount of rainfall and high to moderate temperature with adequate amount of rainfall कभी कभी चाहिए. फॉर एग्जांपल इंडिया में कौन कौन से मिलेट्स ग्रो किए जाते हैं? ज्वार, बाजरा, रागी आर ग्रोन, एंड दे आर ऑल्सो ग्रोन इन अदर कंट्रीज, फॉर एग्जांपल चाइना हो गया, नाइजीरिया हो गया, नाइजर हो गया। नेक्स्ट इज मेज एंड कॉटन का थोड़ा कंपैरिजन दिया हुआ है। Maize, it required some moderate temperature, rainfall, and lot of sunshine. Cottons require a high temperature, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days, and bright sunshine for its growth. Very 200 plus frost-free days. Very very important. Maize के लिए it needs a well-drained, fertile soil, and maize is grown in North America, Brazil, China, and other countries. On the other hand, cotton, the best suitable is black and alluvial soil that is there. Grown in China, US, India, Bangladesh, Brazil, etc. And it is one of the main raw material for the cotton textile industry. Next, it has been given for jute. Jute is also, friends, it is also known as golden fiber. कहाँ पे grow होता है? Very very important. It is grown on alluvial soil and requires a high temperature, heavy rainfall, and a humid climate also. It is grown basically in the tropical areas. For example, India हो गया, Bangladesh हो गया. These are the important producing countries. Coffee के लिए temperature क्या चाहिए? The climate. It requires warm and a wet climate. The soil that is required is a well-drained loamy soil. Basically, hill slopes, the regions of hill slopes are comparatively more suitable for the growth of this crops. Hill crop पे hill slopes पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा होने के chances होते हैं इनके. And Brazil is one of the leading producers of Colombia. टी की जब बात करते हैं, tea is a beverage crop grown on plantations and requires very very आपको यहाँ के टेम्परेचर, क्लाइमेट और सॉइल ये बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, पता होना चाहिए. इट कंपेरेटिवली ग्रोज on required cool climate and well distributed rainfall throughout the year. That is what is required. The soil is a well drained loamy soil on gentle slopes. It grows well. Labor is required in large number. Kenya, India, China, Sri Lanka, they produce one of the best qualities of it. The chapter number 5 is industries. The classification of industries कैसे होता है? Basically raw material based, for example agriculture based industries हो गया, mineral based हो गया, marine based industries हो गया, या forest based industry हो गया. On the basis of size it can be small and large. Ownership के basis के ऊपर private हो सकता है, joint हो सकता है, cooperative हो सकता है, etc. On the map it has been shown is the world industrial regions that are there. World industrial belts have been shown, industrial regions have been shown in this regard. You can just have a look at it that it is existing in almost every continent. ऊपर अंटार्कटिका को छोड़िए. Factors which are affecting the location of industries क्या होना चाहिए? फॉर एग्जांपल अगर वहाँ कौन से फैक्टर्स है जिस बेसिस के ऊपर वहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रीज होने के चांसेस होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल ट्रांसपोर्ट होना ज़रूरी है, लैंड होना ज़रूरी है, बिजली पावर होना ज़रूरी है, रॉ मटेरियल इज़ रिक्वायर्ड, लेबर इज़ रिक्वायर्ड, कैपिटल इज़ रिक्वायर्ड, मार्केट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड. फ्रेंड्स ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है इसके बिना यू कैन नॉट सेट अप एन इंडस्ट्री. बट दीज आर बेसिक्स जो आपको इंडस्ट्री से पहले देखना होना चाहिए, लेकिन दीज आर नॉट द ओनली थिंग्स दैट आर रिक्वायर्ड. मेजर इंडस्ट्रियल रीजन्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड आर ईस्टर्न, नॉर्थ अमेरिका का ईस्टर्न पार्ट, वेस्टर्न एंड सेंट्रल यूरोप, ईस्टर्न एशिया एक्सेट्रा, दे आर देयर. And they are major industrial regions. They are located in the temperate areas near the seaport and especially near the coal fields also. इंडिया पे भी काफ़ी इंडस्ट्रियल रीजन्स हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल मुंबई पुणे क्लस्टर हो गया, बेंगलोर, तमिलनाडु हो गया, हुगली रीजन हो गया, एक्सेट्रा, दे आर देयर. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दीज there is a distribution of the major industries that are taking place. For example, iron and steel. It is basically being found in Germany, US, Canada, Japan, Russia. द मेजर हब्स ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, फॉर एग्जांपल सिलिकॉन वैली की जब बात करते हैं, जब बेंगलोर रीजन ऑफ इंडिया है, इट इज़ बेसिकली लोकेटेड अराउंड दिस रीजन ओनली. दिस इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड अ फीडर इंडस्ट्री. क्यों? बिकॉज इस इंडस्ट्री के प्रोडक्ट दूसरी इंडस्ट्रीज एज अ रॉ मटेरियल वो यूज़ करती है. The inputs for the industry basically include raw material such as iron ore, coal, limestone. Very very important friends, ये इनका तीनों का आपको पता होना चाहिए. Along with other simple things, for example labor, capital, etc. 1800 से पहले पहले बेसिकली इंडस्ट्री वहाँ पे लोकेट करी जाती थी, यहाँ पे रॉ मटेरियल, पावर या रनिंग वाटर इजीली अवेलेबल था. But with the coming up of the railways and other things, the location of the industry was near to the coal fields also. In 1950, iron and steel industry they began basically to be located on large areas of flat land. कहाँ पे? Near the seaport. क्यों? बिकॉज यहाँ पे कंपेरेटिवली इस टाइम तक स्टील वर्क्स कंपेरेटिवली काफ़ी बड़ी इंडस्ट्री हो चुकी थी. दीज आर द मेजर world's major iron ore producing areas that are there. You can check on the map. In the case of India, iron and steel industry has developed because of the natural advantages that we are having, and the important steel producing centers are Billai, Durgapur, Baranapur, Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Bokaro, etc. are situated in the region spread over 4 states: West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh. Very, very important regions. Talking about other areas, for example, Bhadravati and Vijayanagar in Karnataka, Vishakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh, Salem in Tamil Nadu are another important steel centers using local resources. Next is cotton textile industries. They're basically divided on the basis of the raw material that they are using. The natural fibers they are basically are obtained from wool, silk, cotton, linen, and jute. Very, very important. Man-made fiber they include nylon, polyester, acrylic, and rayon. Industrial revolution आने से पहले cotton cloth was basically made using the hand technique wheels या loom, hand loom. 18th century the power loom was there because of which the production increased. Today countries for example India, China, US, Japan are the major producers. The muslin of Dhaka, chintz of Masulipatam, calicos of Calcutta, and gold wrought cotton of Burhanpur, Surat, and Vadodara. They are known worldwide for their design and quality also. Very very important. आपको पता होना चाहिए कौन से एरिया में कौन कौन सा कॉटन दैट इज कंपेरेटिवली मोर फेमस. Very very important. Hence, the traditional cotton textile industry could not face competition from the new and therefore mechanized industries that became more and more popular. The first successful, when you talk about India, mechanized textile mill was basically established in Mumbai in 1854. Why? Because of the prevalent positive developments. To warm the warm, moist climate, a port was there for importing machinery, availability of the raw material was there, skilled labor was there, that had resulted into the rapid expansion of the industry in the region. Next is major cotton textile manufacturing regions that are there. You can check on the map. Initially, the industry basically flourished in Maharashtra, Gujarat because of the favorable climate, but today humidity can be created artificially also. And raw cotton is pure and not a weight losing raw material. And so this industry has been spread over different parts of the country. This is very, very important. Not weight losing raw material. Very, very important. So therefore, industries have come up in Coimbatore, Kanpur, Chennai, Ahmedabad, and at other places. Next is information technology. IT hubs, for example, are developing Silicon Valley is there, California, Bangalore, etc. Bangalore is located on the Deccan Plateau and from where it's got its name, for example, Silicon Plateau. The city is known for the mild climate throughout the year. And Silicon Valley is basically a part of the Santa Clara Valley that is located in the Rocky Mountains of North America. The area has temperate climate with a temperature rarely dropping below 0 degrees centigrade. The location advantage is there in Silicon Plateau, Bangalore, Silicon Valley. Other important areas which are coming up are New Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai, etc. Next is Jamshedpur. There are only one, and before 1947, there was only one iron steel industry plant that was there, that is TISCO, Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited. It was privately owned, but after independence, the initiatives were being undertaken and they set up several plants, iron and steel. TISCO की जब बात करते हैं, it was basically started in 1907. आप इसको relate कर सकते हैं, for example, at the time of Swadeshi movement in India, at Sakchi, and later on at the confluence of the river Suvarnarekha and Kharkai in Jharkhand. Very very important. आपको पता होना चाहिए कौन सी rivers भी है. Later on, Sakchi was basically being renamed as Jamshedpur. Geographically, Jamshedpur is the most conveniently iron and steel center that is there in the country. And TISCO is basically getting its coal, very very important, from Zaria fields, iron ore, limestone, and dolomite and manganese. It is basically getting from Odisha and Chhattisgarh. The two rivers, that is Karkai rivers and Subarnrekha rivers, they ensure that there is a good sufficient amount of water availability that is there. Very very important friends, आपको ये रिवर है और ये सुवर्णरेखा दूसरी रिवर है. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, पता होना चाहिए दोनों रिवर्स के नेम. नेक्स्ट इज पिट्सबर्ग. It's very important steel city of US. Raw material such as coal is locally available, while other raw iron ore they basically comes from the iron ore mines that are there at Minnesota, approximately 1500 kilometers from Pittsburgh. Between these mines and Pittsburgh is lying one of the world's best routes for shipping, for example, the Great Lakes waterways. The trains they also carry ore from the Great Lakes to the Pittsburgh area. The important rivers which are there, they are basically Ohio, Monongahela, and Allegheny. They are basically provide a good amount of water, and there are certain ports are also there. Next is Ahmedabad. It is located in Gujarat on the banks of river Sabravati. The first mill was basically textile. First mill was established in 1859. It soon became India, the second largest city of India after Mumbai. Ahmedabad, because of high amount of production of textile, is also referred to as Manchester of India. Very important. Common factors, for example, locational factors were there, which led to the development of industry of textiles in Ahmedabad. And it is also located very close to the cotton growing regions also. This ensured that there is a good availability of the raw material timely, and the climate is also ideal for spinning and weaving. There is a flat terrain, easy availability of the land makes the establishment of the mills comparatively more comfort easily. The densely populated regions, वहाँ से आपको लेबर मिल सकती है. Roadways and railway networks are quite developed. Mumbai port भी आपको पास ही है. But recently, because of certain problems, the mills are getting closed. This is primarily due to the emergence of the new textile centers which are coming up, as well as the non-upgradation of techniques या machine नहीं upgrade करी, जिसकी वजह से वो कुछ centers बंद होने लगे हैं. Osaka in Japan, it is also known as Manchester of Japan. अदर रीजन सेम, फॉर एग्जांपल क्लाइमेट है, ह्यूमिड क्लाइमेट है, लेबर है, एक्सेट्रा, दे आर अवेलेबल. The river Yodu, it provides sufficient amount of water to the mills also, and therefore cotton is exported to other countries from here, from Osaka, Manchester of Japan. Next is the human resources distribution of population. The crowded areas are there in South and Southeast Asia, Europe, Northeast Africa. More and more people they are living north to the equator than to the south of the equator. And this is very important. Almost three-fourths of the world people they live in two continents, that is Asia and Africa region. When talk about the density of the population, it is basically आप कह सकते हैं कि certain things become important. Population density is basic होता क्या है? Is the number of the people who are living in a unit area of the earth's surface, कितने लोग वहाँ पे रह रहे हैं, एक्सप्रेस किया जाता है नॉर्मली पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर के हिसाब से. Average density of the world is 51 persons per square kilometer, and South Central Asia is one of the highest density population region, followed by East and Southeast Asia. Average density approximately 382 persons India में है per square kilometer. Population change, that is birth rate. Birth rate मतलब number of live births for 1000 people. Death rate, number of death per 1000 people. Migration is movement of the people in and out of from an area. Birth and death are natural causes of the population changes that are taking place. The difference between the birth and the death rate in a country normally referred to as natural growth rate. यहाँ पे आपको पॉपुलेशन कंपटीशन देखने पड़ेगा, स्ट्रक्चर आपको देखने को मिलेगा मेल और फीमेल का पॉपुलेशन पिरामिड. When you talk about Kenya for this population pyramid growth, कि किस तरीके से वहाँ पे देखने को मिलता है. In Kenya, the birth and death are both are high, जिसकी वजह से it is basically broad at the base and rapidly narrow top towards the top. देखिए पॉपुलेशन पिरामिड ऑफ कीनिया काफ़ी ब्रॉड है. इंडिया की जब बात करते हैं, that the death rates are decreasing and the pyramid is broad in the younger age group also because more infants they are able to spread. यहाँ पे भी broad है as compared to यहाँ पे एकदम आपको ऐसे चलना ही पड़ता है. देखिए यहाँ पे ऐसे जा रहा है, but in the case of India it is comparatively not that vertical. मतलब मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज आर अवेलेबल. जब जापान की बात करते हैं, लो बर्थ रेट मेक्स अ पिरामिड कंपैरेटिवली नैरो एट द बेस एंड डेथ रेट्स आर आल्सो लो, जिसकी वजह से पॉपुलेशन ज़्यादा एज तक जाती है. देखिए बर्थ रेट कंपैरेटिवली कम होने की वजह से ब्रॉड बेस नीचे को आपको देखने को मिलता है. ऐसे उतना ब्रॉड नहीं है जितना दूसरी कंट्रीज में है. फैक्टर्स विच आर अफेक्टिंग द पॉपुलेशन, पहला टोपोग्राफी इफेक्ट करता है. पीपल आर एबल टू लिव, माउंटेन्स है, प्लेट्यूज है, प्लेन रीजन्स हैं. क्लाइमेट एक बड़ा रोल प्ले करता है. फॉर एग्जांपल एक्सट्रीम क्लाइमेट्स में मुश्किल हो जाता है. कोल्ड और वार्म क्लाइमेट्स दोनों अगर एक्सट्रीम होंगे. सॉइल अगर फर्टाइल है, फॉर एग्जांपल गंगा ब्रह्मपुत्र डेल्टा, हुआंगहो इन चाइना एक्सेट्रा, नाइल इन इजिप्ट, वहाँ पे होगा. वाटर अवेलेबिलिटी एंड मिनरल्स अवेलेबिलिटी, तो वहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी कंपेरेटिवली ज़्यादा होगी. देयर आर सर्टन social, cultural and economic factors also which play a major role. Social, for example, areas for better housing, education. जैसे culture, for example, the cultural places, religion हो सकता है. वाराणसी जैसे for example cultural, Jerusalem हो गया, जब Vatican City are examples. Economic factors they play a major role in the context that कोई industrial region है, ओसाका हो गया जापान, in Japan, मुंबई in India, उसकी वजह से भी होता है. Pattern of the population, the rate of the population growth is varying. Although the population is rising rapidly, but not all countries are experiencing this growth. Therefore, certain countries like Kenya have high population growth rate. They have both high birth and high death rate also. But now, जैसे ही medical facilities improve हो रही है, death rate comparatively कम हो रही है. On the other hand, UK, the population is slowly growing. Because of this, the death rate and low death and low birth rate is also can be exercised in this region. तो फ्रेंड दिस इज़ द कंप्लीट डिस्कशन ऑफ 8th क्लास जोग्राफी एनसीईआरटी, दैट इज़ देयर रिसोर्सेज एंड डेवलपमेंट, कवर इट कॉम्प्रहेंसिवली। यहाँ से फ्रेंड्स बहुत बार यूपीएससी में क्वेश्चंस आए हैं, इट इज़ ऑफ वेरी यूज़, इसको आप कॉम्प्रहेंसिवली कवर करिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।